Hello everybody, tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day and my wife just informed me that our child needs a leprechaun kind of holiday shirt, and that's something that has been hard for us to come by, um, or in general seasonal shirts. So I'm going to make one with my Cricut machine here, and I've got this shirt here, just a nice plain cat and jack green shirt. By itself, yeah, it's green and you could probably wear it tomorrow. But I decided to have a little fun with this and give them something a little more special. And so I've got these two vinyls, iron-on vinyls here. And I've got my Cricut mini press here as well. The handheld version, which works fine for me. It's not quite the $200 unit that I would love to own. But such. So just trying to evaluate here what color would go better, you know, like the sparkly green or this, I guess you call it shamrock kind of green color. It's so hard for me to tell here. And then what kind of design do I want to put on it? I could put a big shamrock, or I could try to just give me a sec here. I could try, if it lets me show my computer, and kind of go into Cricut Design Space here, and if I go to images, you know, I could do shamrock, put in a nice little shamrock design here, all green, you know, any of these. Put in Irish. The word Irish there. I could do a pot of gold. I could do gold coins. You know, something along those lines as well. So just kind of trying to find a design here that works, that he will enjoy as well, because we're doing this for him. He doesn't want to pick one though, so he would pick the more complicated ones that have multi-layers, multi-colors involved, and I just don't have that much iron-on vinyl to do multiple colors. So I might just put a big shamrock on there, but I just don't know. And we'll find out at the end of this video what I've gone with, but I just don't know if this is going to look right. This shiny stuff here, I don't think it will. So I think I'm going to go with this one here, just this green here, and just get a big shamrock on there. And I think he'll enjoy that. So that's what we're going to do today. Okay, so we're back here. And, you know, I typically do, I mean, the weeding process isn't going to care which one I do, because it'll all come out as black. But I kind of like this one here. So I'm going to go and use that one. And before you interrupt and say, hey, they're not all green, or they're different shades of green, we can make it all green. So we are going to basically, what I want to do is grab all these here, and I can just hide that in the layer. And then this basic cut over here, I can hide that, and I can hide this cut here, leaving a nice little shamrock right there. Now I'm not going to put his name, but just basically a nice little shamrock. Now this shirt, I've never done a shirt like this before, so it's a learning process. I actually did some shirts for the Kansas City Chiefs. They played in the Super Bowl, but we basically have from sleeve to sleeve about 10 inches, and I like to go the 8 inches. I think that's pretty good to do 8 inches there. Nice big shamrock on there. So that's what we're going to do here. Is now that we know how big we want it to be, I'm going to highlight my image. I'm sorry about the camera, just not wanting to play ball with us today on your neck. I hope your neck isn't you know, sore there. But we're going to go up here to the size and just put in 8. And because this tool is locked in, which you can't see, I know my camera work needs some more effort. But yeah, at least I'm not holding it in one hand and trying to type or do something with the other hand there. So because this symbol is locked in, it automatically refit the size there. So all we have to do now is go to make it. Got my machine on. And I'm going to just move this back. And we're going to use this green, so I'm just going to cut enough material on my cutter back here. If it lets me. Okay, perfect. Now this might not be an exact 12 inches, but you know what? It'd be pretty close, and we only need the 1/8. So what they say is make sure. So we're gonna do this by the books. So we'll hit continue. Now sometimes when you do iron on, you have to mirror the image, but because this is a Shamrock, there's no writing. We're not worried about that. Okay. So now what we need to do is go to Browse Materials. Okay. And we're going to look for, they call it iron on vinyl. So, so we'll just look here, iron on. And I'm going to favorite this one so I don't have to look for it all the time. And done. So make sure your mirror is turned on, and iron on material is face, so shiny side down. Okay. So this is not shiny, this is kind of the matte side, this is the shiny side. So the shiny side has to go down because that's going to be the side that you don't want to necessarily cut all the way through, because that's going to be the side that your iron actually, you know, works with to apply the heat. And if you don't do this correctly, what'll happen is you're going to melt your vinyl. It's going to come out all gooey, and you're going to hate yourself a little bit. Okay, so I am just making sure it's extra sticky on my sheet here. And I'm going to turn this on just so we get it ready. And I'm going to stick the thing in here. And let's do, I'm going to do more pressure because I don't trust this thing. So we are going to hit go on our machine. And we'll let it go to town here. It's amazing how I've been doing woodworking for about a year, and I get this machine in January, and this is the only thing that I work on now, which isn't fully true. I'm combining woodworking with this. And while we're waiting, I want to show you these two, these infusible ink pens. It's already done, amazing. But these can go, this could be a wholly different project related to putting ink, infused ink into wood projects. So maybe we'll do something later. Now, because this was a simpler shape, yeah, I'm going to hit that again, but with the C button. Okay. As long as you don't take that out, everything should cut the same as it just did. So you want to eyeball it a little bit. And I don't have the best luck of just letting this thing go. Okay, that click there shows that this thing is ready. It's green. And we now have 100%. I still don't know if that got any better, but we're going to go with it. Okay, simple to rip off. Okay, looks like it did cut through. I can see the image a little bit, and a little bit there as well. Definitely this side. Okay, so sometimes the stuff is hard to get going. It's kind of like those bags at the grocery store that can take forever to open up in the produce area. So I just started this one up here, and we're just going to be very careful when we go through here to make sure that we're not grabbing our cutout. And so it actually works pretty well. I didn't even have to like push my finger down, it already kind of started working itself out there. So because this is going to be a big image, I'm actually going to use the scissors here and just go down one way. I'm going to break this apart and just go down one way. And as I do this, I just want to thank you for watching. This is my stress relief from a work day. It's just a hobby that I enjoy doing just to relieve some stress from the day. So again, thank you for watching. And actually, I've got a lot of wasted space here, so I'm going to go to my cutter and just remove some of this. Because it's good stuff I could reuse. I don't have to use the whole thing here today. And it'll actually help me weed this faster too. Okay, perfect. So I just cut that section. You know, I just cut down about 3 inches there. Don't have to worry about that anymore. And we'll just keep going here. It does get tough. You got to pull it a little bit and use some brute force. And the reason that I want to keep this, like I'm not taking a scissors to this, is because this material is actually going to help shield my work. So if I move my iron over here, it's not going to burn the material because it's protected by this film. So that's why I'm keeping this, and I'm not just taking my scissors and cutting out the shape. Okay. So we'll come back here in a minute when it's all finished. Alright, we're back. I know you don't notice it because I didn't record it, but when I finished this, I saw that I had a work email and I wanted to, from a student, and I always prioritize my emails from my students, even though I'm recording this at 6 o'clock at night. And just a funny story, I know it's not related to this, but life lesson. This week in class, for their discussion board, I gave them an unsolvable problem. And the student picked up on it and emailed me and said, "Professor, I'm missing this data, XYZ. How would I respond to my boss in this situation?" And I said, everything you just wrote me in the email is how you would respond to your boss. So do that. And you've got the answer correct. Sometimes your boss gives you things that are impossible to complete. And that's just a reality. So I take that back to the Cricut here when, hey, if I wanted to make a multicolored, St. Patrick's Day shirt for my son, I can't do that. So, I'm sorry, I can't make you a Mario Brothers shirt with a bunch of, gold coins on it. I don't have that material. So, always keep that in mind too. Like, should I buy a bunch of different iron-on materials when they cost $15 per roll, just in case I might have an idea? Not really, because I'm not really doing the Cricut stuff for clothing. This is something fun to do for my child, but I'm a woodworker, and iron-on will work for wood. Like these signs here, these are permanent vinyl signs here, but I have tested iron-on for wood. I've made coasters out of iron-on glitter, and it works too. But, my point is, be careful with what you plan out. I mean, it gets expensive with this vinyl, and you just gotta make sure you have the right stuff, because there's removable vinyl, there's stencil vinyl, there's permanent vinyl, and then there's iron-on vinyl, and then glitter iron-on vinyl. So there's different types of vinyl out there, and you just want to make sure you have a good plan for what you want to make before you go up there and spend all the money you got. So, okay, so we've got our little thing here. This is the sticky side, and so the image is here. So we're going to use this glossy side, the uncut side. We'll be putting our iron, for lack of a better term, I can't believe I forgot the word there, iron on this side, and it's going to meld, M-E-L-D, infuse, fuse, weld, whatever word you want to use here, into the shirt. So that'll be our next step here. Okay, so before we begin this, you want to make sure you have some material in the shirt, on the protecting it from the backside, because you don't want this to go through and kind of be a little disjointed on the back side of the shirt. So I'm going to use this piece of basswood. It's 8 inches wide by, I think, 11 tall, almost like a portrait size paper. I'm going to put this shirt here. Again, this is the first time I've done this with a shirt of this magnitude. But this is also a good size. Remember that 8 inches. We made this to be 8 inches. So it's going to be a perfect little size for us. So, okay. So again, thank you for watching. This is a de-stress. Working on my PhD, and so sometimes doing stuff like this really also helps me de-stress. Okay, so this is always the hard part for me. Not that I do this that often, as I just said, but how do you line up the shirt? Make sure it's wrinkle free and all that stuff, because you know that could just ruin the whole shirt here. So I'm expecting I'm gonna make a mistake, and it's gonna be my kid that's got a goofy little shirt that's got a shamrock that's not centered. So is what it is, I guess. We can always reboot, find him another shirt to wear. So okay, we got our shirt here, got our image here. Okay, and this is going to be awesome. Okay, so as long as we can keep this here, and we do not move this thing at all, we can just start up. So I'm just starting up here. And the thing is, because I'm using a mini press, I don't have the big one. This is going to take a while. So just keep that in mind. I like to go around the edges, make sure I've got all that down. And I'm going to make several passes at this. Okay, this will not by any means be just a 1 or 2 minute ordeal like putting on some permanent vinyl after you've weeded it. So again, can you see why I didn't cut out this material? Because I'm using it to glide across. And that's so important. There. Okay. And again, I'm just going around the edges because my fear is, due to physics, this image is going to move. This piece of material is going to move on me. So at least we've got our grounding. And then I can work through the middle. Okay. So I'm just sitting there, letting it just get in the middle there. Okay, I'm bringing it back. It's not quite there yet. Can tell because it wants to move with my sheet. So we're just going to keep that pressed there. Whoops. Accidentally turned it off. So I definitely want to get the actual, the $200 one, because I think this will go a lot better, a lot smoother, a lot easier. So we'll come back when this is done. Okay, so I really worked it in there now, and I can't remember if this is a hot or cold peel, which means if it's hot peel, it's okay to remove it right now, but if it's a cold peel, you gotta wait till it calms down because this is hot. Touching this will burn your fingers if you leave it there long enough. So just want to be careful with all that. And I have a feeling this is a hot or cold peel because it's really sticky right now. So we'll wait a little bit for the grand reveal. Okay, so just want to give you an update. We're getting there. It's definitely been about 3 minutes. We're getting there. I don't know how well this is going to work because the other issue is I never even checked if there's polyester in this shirt. Now I assume for the price that there is, but you have to have at least 50% polyester in your shirt. And I would even challenge you to find a shirt with 70 or 75% polyester to do this. Because when you think about it, what is vinyl? It's a polymer. And what is polyester? Well, it's in the word, it's polymer. So it just works a lot better than 100% pure cotton. Because you're melting into more melt. You're merging a polymer with another polymer. So there's some science for you. So I like to just keep going a little bit with this. And you can always tell if it needs more. When you lift it off, you can certainly apply this sheet back on it and touch it up some more if you're just feel like you need to do that. Okay. All right, we'll be back in a minute. All right, we're back, and I was wrong about that cold versus hot peel. This might be a cold peel because when I was done with this top here, it actually started coming off, and I was playing with it, and it'll come off. So this is a hot peel, and that'll be great for us because that means we don't have to wait too long to film this part. Not that you would know the difference because I would cut that part of the video until we're ready, but one more shake. I always like to do it one more time. It doesn't hurt the shirt, but it could just kind of catch any little bubbles or any little spots in there that you missed. And just put it through one more time, and there we go. All right, so the grand reveal. How did we do? Did Dad mess up? Is this thing pulling off and ripping the vinyl? No, it's not. So there's a vinyl sheet. There's our shirt. Now, one thing I know I messed up on, there was a crease here. There's a crease in the shirt and a little crease there. But, you know, for the first attempt here for a shirt for this purpose, I'm going to take my wood out now. And just be careful because this is piping hot. So you want to put it on something that isn't piping hot. And I would also just put it on this thing too. Right there. Go over here. And let's assess the shirt. Okay, not too bad. There was a little wrinkle there because of that wood. I think next time, yeah, I mean, that's something that I just learned. And hopefully you learned it too. Use an 8-inch piece of wood to put on an 8-inch image. I probably should have had a 10-inch piece of wood with a margin on each side. That was the mistake. That would have presented a little bit of the scuffing here. But to be honest, that'll be fine. The shirt is still warm. It's losing its heat pretty quick. Nothing on the back. Nothing through it. So we'll just let this thing cool. And now he's got a little shirt to wear tomorrow for St. Patrick's Day. He'll love it. Even though I noticed the flaw already because I'm the one that did the work. So I just had this idea of putting some words down here. But I don't think I need to. I think it looks good. So thanks for watching.